Hot God.
Today we're unearthing 5 of my favorite cheap hidden gems in black. That's 5 potent cards that appear in fewer than 6,000 decks according to EDHREC's database of over 2.5 million black decks. Also, everything costs less than $2 in the market. These underplayed trump cards slot nicely to most black deck strategies, bring a refreshing twist to your games, and surprise opponents that are used to playing mainstream options. Hey there, this is Darko, and welcome back to EDHREC MTG. Like, subscribe, and let's dig in. First up, Night Creep. This spell costs only 2 black mana and sees play in just 498 decks, making it the least utilized card in this group. It says, until end of turn, all creatures become black, and all lands become swamps. At first glance, this might seem like an odd mana fixer. Paired with Cabal Coffers or Crypt Ghast, it can generate a massive burst of black mana for a turn. However, the true potential lies in its versatility. Turning all lands, including your opponents, into swamps can cripple their ability to cast spells or activate key abilities for a turn. Did I mention it's an instant? So basically, you can use it defensively during an explosive turn to shut down interactions, or cast it on an opponent's upkeep to stax them out for a critical turn. No one would expect this effect from an obscure black card. As a bonus, if you have a bunch of creatures with Swampwalk, say you have a Filth in a graveyard, Night Creep can get all that damage through by making them unblockable, thanks to all lands transforming into glorious swamps. Next, let's look at another card that barely get played, and only used in less than 650 decks, Sins of the Past. This 4 black sorcery spell says, until end of turn, you may play target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Then, exile both that card and Sins of the Past. 6 mana isn't cheap, and so it's not making its way into every deck. But here's the thing, if you can stack your graveyard with a Wincon or a big swing spell, replaying your best instant or sorcery card can be a massive tempo shift. It's like when your opponents thought the worst is over, you hit them with a sequel. Wiped the board earlier? Do it again. Drained everyone half to death? Finish the job. This card is all about second chances. The kind your opponents don't want you to have. Now, let's talk about Mind Slash, a card that sees play in just under 4,000 decks. This 1 black enchantment lets you pay a single black mana and sacrifice a creature to look at an opponent's hand and force them to discard any card of your choice. Yes, not random, your choice. People often compare it to Sadistic Hypnotist, but let's be real, they serve different roles. Mind Slash gives you surgical control, letting you strip away their most dangerous cards while being an enchantment makes it harder to remove. If you're running token generators or a reanimator engine, this turns into a full-blown hand-shredding nightmare. And even if you're not completely dismantling someone's hand, just revealing their cards to the whole table is already a huge advantage. Nobody likes being the player with their game plan on display, except you, because you're the one holding the scalpel. Next on the list is Grim Return, a sneaky little instant that only costs 2 generic and 1 black. It says, choose a creature card in a graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Put that card onto the battlefield under your control. The key to making this card shine is timing. Since it's an instant and works on any graveyard, you got versatile options to use it. Steal an opponent's commander right after it dies. Now they have to figure out how to get it back. Save your own creature from removal. They thought they got rid of your key piece? Nope, it's back. Turn a board wipe into an advantage. Everything dies? You keep the best creature among them. This underrated gem only appears in only about 5,500 decks. And the best part? You can pick one up for less than $1. Seems like a steal, kinda like the card itself. Finally, we have Thoughtpicker Witch, a card sitting in just under 3,000 decks. For just 1 black mana to cast and 1 generic mana to activate, it lets you sacrifice a creature to look at the top 2 cards of an opponent's library and exile 1. It sounds minor at first glance, but as a cheap, repeatable sacrifice outlet, it already slots perfectly into most black strategies like aristocrats and graveyard decks. But what really makes up this card's potential is the ability to disrupt your opponent's top decks. Controlling what they draw next or exiling a key piece before they can even use it can throw off their game plan. In decks that churn out tokens or run reanimation engines, this effect stacks up quickly and can be very devastating. You can grab this very cheap at less than 50 cents. That wraps our list of underrated black cards that deserve more attention in Commander. Whether it's reusing powerful spells, tearing apart hands, stealing creatures, or manipulating top decks, these cards bring something sneaky, disruptive, and efficient to the table without breaking the bank. If you're brewing a deck with black and want to add a little more edge, consider giving these hidden gems a shot. And who knows, maybe next time, it'll be your opponents wondering why they overlooked these cards. What are some of your favorite underplayed black cards? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your picks. Until next time.